Hello, Megan. Happy Sunday. Can you believe a week ago today we were in each other's presence? But alas, here we are, back again. Shark Harry's in the background. John Boyle's probably looking dumb in your room, so everything's back to normal. You are getting back to Williamsburg today. I got back to Cincinnati earlier this afternoon. And Megan, let me tell you something about this week. It was probably the greatest week of my life, but also I have not been alone since Wednesday night of last week. Except for sleeping, I have not been alone. And that, my friend, is a difficult thing when you're me. So even though I have a metric fuck ton of work that needs to happen in the first half of this week, I have a presentation tomorrow along with some meetings and a therapist appointment and stuff, and then I have an enormous midterm on Tuesday that I need desperately to work on. I was genuinely incapable of working on stuff this afternoon because when I got back to my room, I just needed to be like, and that exhalation took roughly 8 hours. I think the theme of this video is going to be twofold. One, I'm going to talk about a few of the things that I do to make myself feel better when I'm in that sort of headspace. We've talked a little bit about self-care before, but this is, I feel like, a dramatic version of self-care. This is not a day-to-day thing. This is a shit's been crazy, need to pack all it in at once. So, what have I done? Yes, I had my internet time or whatever, but listen to some melancholic jams. That's always key for me when I'm in this mood. Listening to happy music just makes seems forced to me, and listening to sad music, I don't like to wallow. So I listen to a good middle of the line melancholy. So some Ed Sheeran qualifies. Halsey, angsty, melancholy, but there's a little something. And then Zayn's album was the perfect amount of melancholy for today. I am going to make an entire other video about Zayn's album. Obviously, we're going to talk more about it. But, Meg, I know that you don't love Ziam as a ship, but let me tell you, this album was the perfect Ziam album, timbre-wise. Because it's a perfect balance between, over-the-top, raw, obnoxious sexual energy, and also just, really pent up, oh, I don't know what's happening, I don't know what to do, I have all these nostalgic mixed feelings, and that's what I feel like Ziam is. Do you see that it's storming? I'm so happy about the weather right now. Anyway, so self-care in dramatic times of need. Listen to melancholic music. Took a shower. Unpictured, but washed all of my sheets and towels so that everything in the bed area is clean. My floor, hell no, that's gonna have to wait. But everything in the bed area is squeaky clean. Before I hopped in the shower, I made myself a cup of tea in this gorgeous mug that my aunt and uncle sent me from the National Gallery of Art. It has a visiting exhibit on Hellenistic bronzes that my family and I went to go see over winter break because I've been tracking this exhibit since it left Italy. It is amazing, and they sent me this beautiful mug, and it is large, and the handle is amazing. It is so functional. I have my bottle of water. I did some deep moisturizing. These are the things that I need to do to make myself feel less frantic when I've just been completely overdosed with human interaction. As I said before, it was the greatest of weeks. I saw you, I saw all of Squad, I saw all of my important professors, I saw my parents, I spent 5 days in Boston with Amelia, I saw Ale, I saw my friend Sarah from the Agora. It's been a whirlwind of emotions and of seeing people, and it was just super incredible, but that's making the transition back to the real world a little difficult. The second part of this video, I would like to tell you a couple of snippets of things that happened to me after we parted our ways, and next week I would like to hear a little bit about your trip to New Orleans. As you know, because you watched both of our Snap stories, I think you're one of very few people actually who has access to both of them. So you got a fuller, more dynamic picture. Amelia and I had quite the adventure on Friday when we woke up at very early in the morning so she could take me to a Target so I could buy the Target exclusive. And then we went on a bus to New York and we hung out in Central Park and we saw my favorite musical and it was amazing. The dude who played the voice actor of Flynn Rider in Tangled was the lead. He was so good. Oh my god, and he's so handsome. It is unfair that a human like that exists. And then also Jane Krakowski from 30 Rock, Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt, etc., was one of like the comedic relief, and she was amazing. So the musical was just superb. But anyway, I'm not sure if you know the actual story of what happened on the bus ride home. So we're on the bus home. It's late. As you know, bus sleep is the worst sleep. It's 4:15 in the morning and we're half an hour out of Boston. And we feel something hit the bus hits something, there's an impact. The bus pulls over and we're all just like, what? And we don't really know what's going on, and then we hear someone throw out that they think that the bus hit a deer. And of course Amelia's like, no! And, we're sitting there and we're sort of in the dark for a while. And then Amelia she turns to me and goes, Maura, do you hear that? And I was like, hear what? What do I hear? And she was like, a deer is screaming. Like, I can hear a deer that the bus hit, and it's screaming because it's dying. And I was like, oh, maybe. And maybe I thought I heard something, but we're on the side of a road. I don't know. And Amelia's like flipping a shit because she thinks she's listening to a deer die. And then it goes, and she's freaking out because she heard a deer die. And then 10 minutes later, a woman comes back on the bus and is like, okay, so someone fell asleep at the wheel and ran into the back of the bus, and here's what needs to happen. And Amelia was just because she literally imagined hearing a deer die and was so worked up about this. And it was late. We had been up for a long time, but it was so funny. Phantom deer death syndrome is what we're calling it. Ask your doctors, your neighbors, and your local hypnotist if you need help. The second really big thing that happened this week was, of course, seeing Ale, and it was the first time that I had seen him in over a year, and it was just exciting and emotional and just really awesome. Amelia and I got dinner with him on Thursday night at this awesome place, and then he and I hung out basically all day on Saturday, and we went to this beach north of Boston, and it was absolutely gorgeous. We went on an 8-mile hike. It was superb. I picked these off the beach. It's this rock and it's green. I want to say that it's breccia, but my geology, it's been a while. And then also this piece of driftwood that's so smooth and perfect. And I love them, and he has matching objects of the same kind of stone and of a similar sized piece of wood. So we're twinsies, one would say. And it was just amazing, and the hike took us a long time because we were going slow, and Ali and I have really great conversations. We're just really good at talking to each other about hefty things interspersed with light things, and this gorgeous tapestry of conversation. That's how our friendship is. So we did that, and then we went to this just amazing diner. I will insert a clip of him here standing in front of it. It has a questionable sign, as you can see. I think he is trying to mimic the stature of the individual on the sign. But anyway, so we went to this diner, and it was so great and so classic, just out of the way New England Americana. And he got this enormous fried clam sandwich that was just a mound of fried clams on a slice of bread and fries and coleslaw. And I got an omelet and hash browns, and then we split a stack of blueberry pancakes, and it was so good and justified because we had just walked 8 miles. And it was just, oh, It was so great. But anyway, that's just a couple of things about my week combined with a couple of sort of emergency, big time self-care in the face of kind of utmost freneticness advice. Does that make sense? I have no idea. Tell me your favorite stories from New Orleans. They don't have to be John's stories, but those are always good. They can be anyone's stories. Mike Kikta stories. Is he back? Is he back this semester? He was gone, right? Anyone's stories. Greg Fisher stories. Anyway. It was so great to see you last week. I will see you sooner yet this time than the time that it took to see you between the last time and this previous time. Bye!